Dear friends in Afghanistan and around the world, welcome to Afghans Learning English. In this lesson, we focus on the difference between actions happening now and the actions you do all the time. Imagine you are at a wedding party and someone you do not know sits down next to you. You ask him what he does for work. He is a shepherd. He says, "I herd sheep." You do not look around the wedding hall for the sheep, since you understand that he is not working at the moment. You understand that he normally herds sheep, but he is not doing so right now. The next day, you are driving outside the city, and you see your new friend by the side of the road, carrying a long stick and walking next to a flock of sheep. You stop to talk and ask him what he is doing. He says, "I am herding sheep." This is the action that he is doing right now. In this example, you see that when we talk about things that are usually true and our habits, we use the present simple tense. For example, I herd sheep. When we talk about actions we are doing right now, we use the present continuous tense. For example, I am herding sheep. Again, imagine you are a famous musician and singer. Right now you are watching a video instead of playing music. If someone asks you what you do for a job, you can say, "I play the harmonium," even though you are not playing right now. But when you perform in a concert, you can say, "I am playing the harmonium," since at that time you are doing that action. Now let's look at some examples from the Holy Bible. We are going to look at a story where Jesus explained how we can be his brothers and sisters. If you do not have a Holy Bible, you can find one online. Open up your browser. Type in BibleGateway.com. Click on the down arrow next to the words Bible Book List. Under the title New Testament, select the book called Matthew. Then a list of chapters will appear. Go down to where it says 12 and select that chapter. Matthew 12 will appear on your browser. Scroll down to verse 46. In this story, the word disciple means someone who follows Jesus. While Jesus was still talking to the crowd, his mother and brother stood outside, wanting to speak to him. Someone told him, "Your mother and brothers are standing outside, wanting to speak to you." He replied to him, "Who is my mother, and who are my brothers?" Pointing to his disciples, he said, "Here are my mother and my brothers. For whoever does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother and sister and mother." In the first part of the story, how did one person describe what Jesus' family members were doing? He said, "Your mother and brothers are standing outside." It was a present continuous action that was happening as the man spoke to Jesus. In response, what did Jesus say? He said, "Here are my mother and brothers." To be a brother is not an action that you do. It is a fact about you, so we use the present simple form. Then Jesus said, "Whoever does the will of my Father in heaven." Again, he used the present simple form to talk about habitual action. Now we will see what you learned today. You have a business where you make beautiful Afghan carpets to sell around the world. It is lunchtime and you are eating kebabs. Which is the correct sentence to say right now? If you selected I weave carpets, then you are correct. You are a black belt in judo. Right now you are in the middle of a match. Which is the correct sentence to say right now? If you selected I am competing in judo, then you are correct. What did we learn today? In English, you can use the present continuous tense to talk about actions you are doing right now, and the present simple tense to talk about your habitual actions. We also learned what it means to be in the family of Jesus. To be Jesus's brother or sister, you need to obey God's teachings. If you want to see more content from Afghans Learning English, please subscribe to this channel. If you have any questions, please send an email to the address in the description below. If you want to read today's story in your own language, open your web browser, type afghanbibles.org, then choose your language. For example, I will choose Dari. The New Testament should already be showing. Next, select Matthew. From the chapter menu, choose chapter 12 and scroll down to verse 46. That is all for this lesson. Go in peace.